be caught up in this illusion. I really think what artists and creatives nowadays need to do is to actually reflect and take so much time alone to reflect why, in the very first place, they're creating. What is their purpose and main message? Why they are creating in the very first place. So, what is the title of this video podcast for tonight? Tonight or this morning? Because it's 12 a.m. and that I am filming this. Doesn't matter. So, the title of this video podcast will be The Illusion of Fame and Why External Validations Are More Important Rather than the Depth and Meaning on Creating or Producing Your Art in whatever creative endeavors that you are pursuing and you are in. So yeah, it's pretty interesting title and topic and I love to talk about it because I have so many insights and perspective about this. And yeah, as an artist for so many years, I have dealt or dealing, yeah, I have dealt and dealing with so many obstacles when it comes to being a creative and an artist and different creative endeavors. And I wanted to give insights in my own words for my fellow creative and artist that there is. And it doesn't matter if you're watching this and you're still starting something. I think that would be a good sign to start it. And just take don't wait for someone to do it. Just do it. Trust your instinct. Emma Chamberlain has openly discussed the illusion of fame and its impacts on creatives. In an interview, she expressed that she has let go of the belief that fame can resolve personal struggles, stating, I expected to go to the Met Gala or meet certain relevant people. This highlights her realizations that external achievements don't necessarily lead to internal fulfillment. Let's start this video with comparisons and comparing ourselves to other artists, medium of art, or art that they produce. Why we often find ourselves comparing ourselves to that kind of artists personally, creatively, and especially in their creative pursuit that they are pursuing. So don't get me wrong. There's times or sometimes or often we can't help but compare ourselves or our creative work to other creatives work also. And I often wonder why. And then I reflect to that. I find answers that maybe can help, especially in the age of the internet. And I think we can't help to feel the comparison or the urge to compare ourselves to other artists for the reason that everything now needs to be posted. Everything now needs to have a certain audience, certain group or amount of people that were supporting you, and especially in the golden age of the internet, that if I posted this art and it gained external validations like likes, comments, then my art is great and I'm doing great as an artist myself. And what if I came so much bigger than that, or huge amount of external validations from people? And then my art will be exceptional. You know what I'm talking about? Like likes, comments, shares, and let's say external validations. External validations become the standard in the greatness of our art. It became the standard. Don't get me wrong. It became the standards. You know why? Because there's this illusion of fame that if you don't if you don't be careful and don't actually reflect and just absorb people's opinions and external validations when it comes to your art or as an artist, then you are bound to either to be their slave. I don't know. It's such a strong word. To be their slave. Slave? Is it the right word for that? No. I think the right word is you were bound to be caught up in the illusion of fame that there is. That making art and having this substance that you wanted to express in art, in whatever medium that you're going to express, doesn't matter anymore and not big deal to you anymore, because after all these times you were doing art, you're just now doing art because you were chasing fame, you were chasing external validations that in fact and in reality is not really matters. What really matters in making art is the substance, emotions, meaning, depth that there is. That's why you were creating. But because of the illusion of fame, you actually forget about it. Or you're not actually forget about it, you're just caught up in the illusion of that, or feel the pressure that, yeah, yes, that's, yeah, I just came to realize that. Or maybe you're just pressured or having this imposter syndromes as an artist because you're so caught up in the illusion of fame and external validation, slides, comments, shares, which is pretty alarming to be honest. And why is this video so important to me to for me to express this? This is so important for me for the reason that I know there's a lot of artists like me that dealt with that in the past, or let's say there's someone here in this video that's watching this and are dealing with that, because it's hard. It's like it fed up your mind. It's you caught up in this illusion. I really think what artists and creatives nowadays need to do is to actually reflect and take so much time alone to reflect why in the very first place they are creating, what is their purpose and main message, why they are creating in the very first place. It is so important to reflect on that, and just you're just going to realize so many things. And congratulations, because now you're hyper aware. You just needed to reflect now. As what I am saying in the previous part, that it is actually beneficial for you and good to actually reflect on why you create. and produce your imaginations to life in whatever creative endeavor that you are pursuing, it is indeed beneficial to reflect. And I wanted to say that I'm not against fame. I'm not against external validations here on this video. As much as possible, I try to see the light in the end of the tunnel. What the fuck? Um, I, as much as possible, I try to be optimistic here and see what I can do to actually express my message here in this podcast video. But I'm not against fame. I'm not against external validations like likes, comments, compliments, and shares when when it comes to social media and in the age of internet. Fame has its own beneficial and good side. Yeah, right? It is indeed. And artists, you know the quote or passages about starving artists like that because people are not paying them or there's no money on art. They say fame can feed artists. They can get monetized with fame with certain amount of views, likes, comments, and whatever. Yeah, that's why I'm not against fame because it has indeed beneficial and good sides about it financially and in any other aspects that correlates to it. But sometimes it's good to think and actually reflect that fame also had this that fame also have its own negative side, which is probably everything has consequences and pros. Yeah, and yeah, fame has its own cons that it can feed our mind. So yeah, what I'm telling is fame has its own pros or positive side, but it also have this cons and negative side. Fame and external validations when it comes to art and you as being a creative can feed us an illusion that this is your worth as an artist or this is the worth of your art when you have a certain platform or let's say you have this huge amount of following. So now everything is just chasing fame, numbers, comments, external validations now. I mean, like, it feeds us the illusion that, oh, it doesn't matter. I needed to just do art and not think about the substance or meaning and depth on it. That putting meaning and depth on it doesn't matter anymore to you because you will now have this certain platform or you're fame in this category now. That's why oh people will buy it. People will sell to that still because it is indeed in fact has its value because it is famous as an artwork or you are famous as a creative. I don't know if I don't know if I am I don't know if I am touching some nerves here, but let me know in the comments so I can know what I can improve in this video podcast and what I needed to not do. But I am just here to talk about facts based on my own experiences and insights. But yeah, I wanted to add that I am open to constructive criticism, yes, feel free to drop that on the comment section. Yeah. Let me improve. Let me improve and be let's be respectful for each other, guys, because we are humans. Yeah. I think no, I don't think. I believe that it is so much beneficial for us and so much good for us when we take external validations like likes, comments, shares, or compliments about our artwork or as an artist, as an creative, to take external validations and compliments as a bonus point and be grateful for them. It is good to the it is good and beneficial to just see external validations as an bonus point and not the main goal why you are creating art and why you become artist or creative. And I think it's much fulfilling and you can take much more pleasure when you create and express your art because you wanted to convey messages, depth, meaning that maybe or you were sure of that can change the world in baby steps. Because yeah, that's me too. That's why I am creating a different creative endeavors. Because I feel like in just small acts, I am actually changing something, even in smaller gestures. So I just wanted to add the reason why I create in different creative endeavors that this world can offer. First of all, is that there's just so much information and emotions that I wanted to express that my intuition were literally and spiritually saying that I needed to express that. Because in some ways, there are people who are willing to listen on that or with that kind of art that I am producing or releasing and expressing and conveying, I am making people feel some sort of comfort that they wanted to, that they are searching for a long time. And for me, I think that's the main goal of art. It's either to comfort, or to be disturbed, and in between. And also, it's so personal, and also it's for the audience, for the right audience. And also, it is personal for the way that it fulfills me. Many artists will say that whenever they are creating something, making imaginations come to life, they feel fulfilled after. They feel like they are themselves. They feel authentic. They feel that they have this sense of autonomy as being an artist. And for me, that's so worth the risk, worth everything in the world. David Lynch talks about staying focused on your own creative journey instead of getting caught up in what everyone else is doing. In his book, Catching the Big Fish, he puts it simply: keep your eye on the donut, not on the hole. So, go back to the topic. We are now in the part of knowing your purpose and why we actually create. I think and I believe that it is more blissful to actually reflect and to grasp to yourself, your inner self, why you actually create. Is it actually for yourself or for the audience, for you to see that you were creating something or you were this kind of person? I think it's more fulfilling to actually know the answer for that if the main reason that you were creating is because it is deeply rooted to your ego, or is it deeply rooted to the urge for you to convey depth and meaning to your art, to your whatever creative endeavor that you're pursuing. And it is meaningful and blissful to actually know your purpose in the very first place. For the reason that wanting and craving for external validations like compliments, like shares, and whatever social media engagement that your art has or correlates to it doesn't matter anymore to you, or it's not big deal to you anymore, for the reason that your main priority for creating art and conveying art is that you don't care, or it's not big deal for you anymore, the external validations like compliments, shares, comment, likes, or whatever external validations that correlates to your creative endeavor. It doesn't matter and big deals to you anymore, for the reason that you are now fulfilled in the fact that by just creating and producing or sharing your art in the world is enough. And it is indeed what I felt as an artist too. That it doesn't matter if I get just this numbers of likes or views or subscribers in this video. I just know that someday I will have the right audience for this creative endeavor that I am pursuing. But now the main goal, or my main goal here, is me as myself being fulfilled in just creating. And that compliments and external validations for you is actually just a bonus point. Yes. And if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, for the last part of this video, which is the part of loss of creative autonomy or creative authenticity, sense of sense of original thoughts when creating something, especially in arts. I think and I believe that we lost or kind of lost our sense of authenticity or originality when it comes to our artistic works or whatever creative endeavor that you are pursuing, for the reason that we are now in the age of internet, when in fact we are all seeing this post around different social media platforms, which is actually favored by algorithms. If you don't know algorithms or don't have any idea of that, algorithms actually favor things and posts that's actually viral or actually on the trend, you know? And I think it is the main it is the main reason why artists or creatives are just being stuck in the pedestal or in the loop of I'm just going to make that kind of art that I saw on the internet because it's kind of viral or it's kind of getting a bunch of validations. That's why I'm going to just do that kind of art. And because it is acceptable by society. But how about your original thought that you had in mind after all this time? You are actually you were actually gatekeeping your original thought, your authentic self as an artist, when you were just in the comfort of just doing whatever that you saw online that's gaining followers, external validations, and favored by algorithms. And I really believe that it is beneficial for us to actually reflect on that matter, because there's just so much things that you can produce and can create, can make out of life when you just listen to your intuition, when you just have the urge to convey your original thought, original idea, and make it out of life. There is so much more. And I remember the quote of, I don't remember who said this, but make something that is still not created. Make something that is not still created. And by that, I know and I believe that we have our different original thoughts. We just need to have confidence and enough bravery to let it out of life. So yes, this is the last part of the video, and thank you so much for watching. And it would be a much pleasure for me if you leave your insights and perceptions and what I can improve in my videos for more much better videos in the future. And yes, if you wanted some topics for me to create, feel free to drop them on the comment section. And yes, I would love to listen to them and read them. And thank you so much, guys, for support.